everybody. Hope you all are safe and sound. Today we will be starting with the lesson 3 of science, that is synthetic fibers and plastics. Now, what all things are we going to study in this chapter? Let us just have a chapter overview. So the things which we are going to study are the synthetic fibers and plastics. First thing, we are going to study about the polymers. Structure of polymers we are going to study. Then we are going to study about different types of fibers, that are the rayon, nylon, polyester and acrylic. Then we are going to study about the plastics. Then what are the different kinds of plastics, the uses of plastics and the characteristics of plastics. These are the topics which we are going to cover up. So we'll be starting with the first topic, that is the synthetic fibers. Before we study about the synthetic fibers and plastics, we should know that what are these. Actually, these both come under the category of polymers. Now, what are the polymers? Actually, polymers are long chains of thousands of monomers units joined together. Okay? Like one monomer unit we have taken and we have joined many monomers unit together, then they form one polymer. Now, how can these be monomer units joined? This show the shapes of the polymers or different types of polymers. So the two shapes of polymers, as we can see in the diagram, they are either the straight chain polymers or they are the cross-linked polymers. Okay, straight chain polymers means just simply one polymer around is attached to the tail of the another one. And cross-linked means they are not attached in a linear chain, they are cross-linked to each other. Maybe somebody with some group on the top or some group at the bottom, this way they are attached. So the polymer can be either a straight chain or a linear polymer, and it can be a cross-linked polymer. Okay, so this is what we talk about the polymers. Now, why are these linked? Because they give them elasticity and they give them the strongness. Fine. Next topic that we have is the synthetic fibers. Now, synthetic fibers are what? They are the fibers which are prepared in the laboratories and they are generally obtained from petroleum. They are not occurring naturally in the environment, but they are prepared using the natural sources only, but they are prepared synthetically. And they are generally prepared by the petroleum. Fine. So what all synthetic fibers are we going to study? The 4 synthetic fibers we are going to study, that is rayon, nylon, polyester and acrylic. So we'll be starting with the rayon. Now the first thing is that rayon is known as the artificial silk. Okay, artificial silk means that it is a substitute for silk. It is prepared, see, as you can see in the slide, it is prepared from the wood pulp. Okay, it is cheaper than the silk. Then it is known as artificial silk and it is known as a regenerated fiber. Okay, these are the 4 important points. And the 5th, what is the use of rayon? Generally it is used in the making of home furnishings, suits, bed sheets, jackets. These are that way we can say generally they are making the garments out of rayon. Now, why it is known as artificial silk? Because the texture is generally same as silk, but compared to silk it is a bit stronger. It is wrinkle resistant, it is wear resistant, it can be easily worn out in summers, and it is cheaper than silk. Okay. Now when we come to wood pulp, what is a wood pulp? That whenever a wood, wood is actually cut down into very small pieces and then they are compressed until they become soft. Wood becomes very soft. This is known as the wood pulp. Now wood pulp is it is mixed with the alkaline solution. Okay, and then this alkaline solution with wood pulp, it is passed through very tiny holes to make the fibers. These fibers which we get, they are put in the sulfuric acid so that they become hard. Okay, when they become hard, then they are spun in the form of yarn or cloth. This is the way how the synthetic fiber rayon is prepared. Now, why it is called a regenerated fiber? Regenerated fiber it is called because the cellulose which is present, it can be reformed again. That is why it is known as a regenerated fiber. Cellulose coming from the wood of the plant, it can be easily reformed again. So it is known as a regenerated fiber. Next we come to the nylon. Now nylon is what? It is the first synthetic fiber which was prepared in the laboratory, or which was prepared synthetically. Okay, that is a nylon. Now nylon is actually very strong, elastic, and it is wrinkle resistant and it is wear resistant. Okay, that means it does not get wrinkles easily, and it is wear resistant, and it absorbs less amount of water. And the use of nylon is what? Nylon is generally used in the formation of garments. It is used in the formation of ropes and all because it is very strong. Okay, the ropes which are made from nylon, they are actually stronger than the steel wires. That is why it is used to make the strong things. Next we have the synthetic fiber, which is a polyester. Now polyester is what? It is made by the repeated units of an ester. Ester is a chemical group and it is made up by the repeated units of ester. Then the properties of polyester are same as nylon. Just check out the slide which is going on. The properties are exactly the same as nylon. Then what is happening? That polyester is generally not used singly. It is mixed with any of the natural fiber. It can be mixed with cotton. When it is mixed with cotton, it is known as the polycot, and when it is mixed with wool, it is known as the polywool. Okay. Then what is the use of polyester? Generally it is used to make the PET bottles. Okay, the bottles which we generally use at home, the plastic bottles, it is used in that, and it is used in making the utensils and also in the making of garments. Okay. Next topic that we have is, or the next type of synthetic fiber which we have is the acrylic. Now acrylic is what? It resembles wool. Like the rayon was resembling the silk, acrylic resembles the wool. It is cheaper than wool, and it is a wrinkle resistant fiber, and it is a lightweight fiber, and it is used in the making of clothes. So these are the 4 fibers which we have to study. What all are they? First one was rayon, then nylon, then polyester, and then acrylic. Okay. Now the next topic that we have is the plastics. Now what are plastics? Plastics is any material which can be molded and formed in different shapes. Okay. These are known as the plastics, which can be molded or reformed in any shape. Now the basic source of the plastic is the crude oil. The plastics can be now of 2 types. There are thermosetting plastics and there are thermoplastics. There are 2 types of plastics. Now what are the thermosetting plastics? Thermosettings are those which can be heated and cooled down only once. That means your plastic, once it is heated up, you have molded into a desired shape, and then you have cooled it down. That means it has got its desired shape. Now it cannot be heated and reformed again. These are known as the thermosetting plastic. For example, we have melamine and we have bakelite. These are the 2 examples of thermosetting plastic. When we come to the thermoplastic, thermoplastic is what? These can be repeatedly heated, repeatedly reformed, and repeatedly cooled down. For example, the polythene, polyvinyl, PVC that we have, they can be easily remolded again and again in different shapes. Okay, these can be melted and these can be reformed. These are your two types of plastics, that is thermosetting and thermoplastics. But a common use when we talk about the plastic, what are the common uses of plastic? Everywhere we see they can be very hard things also, like we have the fridge, we have the ACs, we have so many things, but the bottles we are having, they're all made of plastic. Or we can see the polythene bags made up of plastic. So the plastic is having a widespread use in our human life. Is it clear? Next we have the characteristics of plastic. Now plastics show 5 main characteristics which make them useful. What are these 5 main characteristics? These are, first thing is, see, first is your thermal conductivity. Thermal conductivity means that plastics are very poor conductors of heat and electricity. Okay, like we see all the handles and all of the things which we use, they are made up of generally plastic. Why? Because they are, so we say that they are very bad conductors of heat, because all the handles and all that we have, they do not generally conduct heat. They do not become hot easily. Next is the electrical conductivity. Electrical conductivity means that they do not allow conduction of electricity through them. Means, like for example, you've seen all the wires and all are having the coating of PVC on them, right? The plastic coating is there. Why? Because they will not allow the electricity to pass through them. Third is your solubility. Solubility means that they are generally insoluble in water. That is why, what do we say, that we store the water in buckets and all, which is made up of plastic, because they do not get soluble in water. Next is the effect of flame. The plastics are generally inflammable. Means what? That they can catch fire easily. And the last one is the reactivity. Generally the plastics are non-reactive, or they do not react easily with any of the things. Like if we store anything in the plastic containers, it does not get spoiled very easily, because the plastics do not react with the food contained in it or any material which is contained. So plastics are non-reactive. So what are the 5 characteristics of plastics that we have seen? The thermal conductivity, they do not conduct heat. Electrical conductivity, they do not conduct electricity. Solubility, they are insoluble in water. Then effect of flame, they are generally inflammable, that means they can catch fire easily. And the 5th one, reactivity, they are generally non-reactive. Next that we have is the disposal or the problems which we face with the plastic. Now what are the problems that we face with the plastic is that first thing is that the plastic is biodegradable in nature. That means they do not get degraded by the soil or degraded by the microorganisms. That means they remain as they are. After thousands of years, if you all see, still they will remain the same. Next is what? That the widespread use of plastic. That if we say that we can ban the plastic also, but still what will happen? That there is such a wide use of plastic, from a small container to big things, that we actually cannot ban the plastic. So there is such a widespread use of plastic that it needs to be stopped. And the next thing is that if we try to burn the plastic, they release poisonous fumes which are harmful for the environment. So these are the problems with the plastics. Next is their remedy. Now what is the remedy to these problems? See, the first remedy is reduction in their use. That as much as we try, we should reduce the use of the single usable plastic. Okay, that means the second use which we can see is the recycling. That is, we should use the plastic which can be easily recycled. We should not use a single use plastic that we use and we throw it away. Better use a recyclable one which can be recycled. Next is that these should not be disposed in the sewage system. Why these should not be disposed in the sewage system? Because they block the entire sewage. That means if there is any drain or any sewage pipe is there, and a plastic goes and adheres over there, it will not be removed easily because it does not degrade. It will remain as it is, so it is harmful for the sewage system. And the next is what? Encourage the use of cloth and the paper bags because they degrade easily and they are not harmful for the environment also. So encourage the use of the cloth bags and paper bags. Is it clear? So this is all which we have to study in this chapter. What all things we have seen? First of all, we see what are the polymers. Then we see what are the synthetic fibers, types of synthetic fibers. Then what are the characteristics of these fibers and their uses. Then we see the plastics, two types of plastics, thermosetting and thermoplastic. Characteristics, why the plastics are having such a widespread use. Then the problems with these plastics and how these problems can be overcome. Fine. The question answers, the exercises and a worksheet link will be given in the description box. Kindly finish all the question answers till we meet in the next online session. Till then, stay home, stay safe and try to reduce the use of plastic as much as you can. Okay? Thank you.